Hello friends, today we are going to see what is a JavaScript closure. Before this, we have learned how to create a JavaScript object, what are different ways of creating objects in JavaScript. So let's start with this JavaScript closure. So before jump on to JavaScript closure, let's see what is a lexical scope. Lexical scope in JavaScript means a variable defined outside function can be accessible inside another function. Also, lexical scope is nothing but a compile time scope. So when we write some code, when we create some function inside a function, so the variable defined outside that function can be accessible inside the inner function. So this is a lexical scope, how we can access variables into inner functions. So let's try to execute this code which explains what is a lexical scope on JSBin. So let me execute this code on JSBin. So here I am using a JSBin, which is a JavaScript editor which will allow us to run our JavaScript. So let me copy that code and we'll try to execute here how we can access variables in lexical scope. Okay, so here we have created test function. Inside that we have local variable vehicle is equal to car. Then we try to console.log that car. After that we have inner function which is a function bus console.log vehicle again. Okay, and we executed that inner function. Okay, so let's try to execute this test function here and see what output is. So we can see that on console we can see 2 times car. Okay, so first this is a console.log vehicle, and again under bus we can have this console.log vehicle. So here the local variable of test function we can access inside function bus, which is the inner function. So we can access that vehicle. So this is nothing but a lexical scope. That outer function variable we can access inside our inner function. Okay, so if I change this to, let's say I will create one more variable vehicle is equal to bus. So let's say what it output now. So we can see car and bus. So in this case we have vehicle variable define and declare inside our inner function as well. So when JavaScript runs, so it will check first local variable. So inside inner function it will check for first vehicle of the bus function. So that's why it is, we can see here car and bus. But if we remove this var vehicle, which is a local of our inner function, so clear and run, then it will print car 2 times. So this is the difference. So like what happens in this lexical scope when JavaScript runs, first time it will check a local variable vehicle inside bus. If it will not found, it will go to the outer function. And now it finds a vehicle in test and it will lexically access inside inner function as well. So this is a lexical scope. Now when we run again a second time, it will not check again local variable. It will access outer functions variable inside our inner function. which is nothing, which is bus here. Okay, so this is a basic understanding of lexical scope, which is important to understand concept of closures. So let's see now what is a closure. So closure in JavaScript, closure gives you access to outer function scope from an inner function. So the same which we have seen in lexical scope. So what happens behind the scene when we can access outer functions scope variables inside inner function? So that is nothing but closure comes into the picture. Then closures are created every time function is created. So whenever we create some function, so it will come up with a closure at a function creation time. So we'll see how it works. So for every statement we'll do some practical. Then closure are the primary mechanism used to enable data privacy. Okay, so to maintain our data private, to maintain our variables private, we can use closures. Also, in other words, closure is created when child function keep the environment of parent scope, even after the parent function has already executed. So here sometimes we return inner function from our outer function. So even if we execute that outer function, still we can access outer functions variables inside that return function. So these are the definitions, or we can say usage of closure in JavaScript. So we'll see practical one by one for all these closure examples. Let's see practically what is closure exactly. There is a example of closure. Okay, so let's run it on our JS bin. Let me copy and paste here. Okay, so now let me clear this as well. Now here I have created test function, which is having a local variable as x is equal to 5. Then we have function, inner function, which logs x, value of x. Then we are returning that function. So here same lexical scope come into the picture, and then closure plays a role to access that x inside a inner function. Okay, so now here what this when we copy this test into get inner function variable, so it will return us a inner function. So let's try to execute this get inner function now. Okay, run it. So we can see here even variable x is not a local variable of our inside inner function, still we can access that x is equal to 5 inside inner. Also we have returned that inner function from our outer function test, still we can access that 5. So even we have finished already execution of test on this line, still we can access that x. So here closure plays a role. Now we'll see how we can see that closure in a function. So here I'll console.dir, so which will give us a complete metadata of that function. Let's clear and run it again. So here inside this function we can see there is a scope variable. Under scope we can see closure is there inside that inner function. So this inner function is nothing but a closure which will give us access to the outer functions variable x, which has a value 5. So this is a nothing but a closure. So as we have seen that every function will have a closure, so yeah, so similarly whenever we create some function, so here we can see inner function, so it will have this scopes array, and inside we will have closure and then global scope as well. So in this way every function in JavaScript has a closure, and closure is nothing but which uses a lexical scope to get access of outer functions variable inside inner function. Okay, even if we return that from our outer function. Okay, so this is the actual closure. So now this is a basic example of closure. Now there can be questions in the interview. What is closure? So as I have explained on the slide, so let me go back to that slide, and we have seen practically what is the use of it. So it will give us access of outer functions variable. Then whenever we have created a function, there will be a closure created. So we have seen that on our console, browser console. We can then also a primary mechanism is to enable a data privacy. So data privacy means the outer function variables we can only access inside a inner function. So that is nothing but a data privacy. Even we will create some object in JavaScript using function constructor, we can only access those members inside our member functions. So there also closures comes into a picture, and we can have a data privacy using these closures. Then we have seen there we are returning that inner function. Okay, in our example we are returning inner function from our outer function. So which says that even after parent function already executed, still we can have access to that outer functions variable x. Okay, so this is the example which we have seen on JSBin. So here we access x, which is defined in function test through function inner, which means that inner function knows the value of x through its scope chain or closure. So inner function will have closure which will have x, and that's why we are accessing that inside our inner function. So this is a basic of closure. Now there can be question in interview, and this is the most frequently asked interview question: what is closure? But after what is closure, interviewer can ask that what are the examples of closure, or where you have used in our project closure. So that time maybe we'll get confused. We can give the simple example, but this is a not actual like use of closure in JavaScript. So there are many applications, or there are many situations where we use closures, but we are not aware of it. So let's say those real world examples where actually closure plays a role. So let's jump on to next slides. So these are the closure examples and usage. Okay. So event handler. Okay. So whenever you add some event listener on any button or any field, so their closures plays a role. Let's say here is the example. Let's display how many times a button is clicked. So I am having a count variable. Then I have added event listener to my button, which is a HTML button. And whenever I am clicking on it, I'll count will be plus plus. Okay. So when our button is clicked, handle click is executed somewhere inside the DOM code. The execution happens far from the place of definition. So this is the important part here. So when we execute that handle click inside our DOM, so that execution happens very far from our place of definition. So our place of definition is nothing but we are doing count plus plus, we are accessing that count 0. So whenever we clicked, still we can access this count variable there. So that is actually role of closer. So here handle click is plays a role of closer, and it captures a count from lexical scope and updates it when a click happens. Okay, so let's try to understand this as well on our JS bin. So here I'll be writing some HTML and then JavaScript as well, and then we'll see on console how we can increment that count variable, how we can access that inside our closure. So I have JavaScript code ready, so I'll just copy and paste here. And then this HTML and this is JavaScript. Okay. So let me close this console for now so that we can see code. Okay. So here I have HTML code where I have div inside our body. Then I have again a div which has a span my text to print our count. Then I have button which has a ID my button. Okay. Now in JavaScript we can see I have created a constant and I have used document.getElementById by ID to access my buttons from HTML code. Okay. So my button and then my text. Okay, so I have provided this my button ID and my text from here. We can see now this is our code. Let clicked is equal to 0. So this is a variable which we are accessing inside this callback or event handler, we can say. And my text dot inner text will be change whenever I will click on that button. Okay, so let's try to execute this. Run it. Okay, so I open output window where we can see actual output of this HTML and JavaScript. So let me click on this click me. Whenever I will click on this click me, counter will be increased. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the practical use of closure. So here also a closure will play a role. Click variable is a we have defined outside our add event listener. Still we can access inside that handle click. So this handle click is nothing but a closure here which will have access to that outer clicked variable, and whenever we'll click, our code will run inside DOM, so it will update our HTML. Still we can access that clicked variable. So this is nothing but a application of closure, or I can say example of real example of closure. And many times we are using this adding event listeners to our in our code when we write some code in Angular or React or in JavaScript, core JavaScript as well. So this is a closure where That's why we can access this outer variables inside our callbacks and event handlers. So this was an example of closure, that is event handler. So we'll see again a next example, which is a similar to event handler. So callbacks. Okay. So here I have taken a set timeout callback. Uh, Also, this is a async operation. So capturing variables from the lexical scope is useful in callback. Okay, so this is a set timeout callback, and here also we can see this. Our callback is a closure because it captures the variable message. So there was same in event handler. Only there we were we have added that click event to our button, and the handle click was a callback again. Okay, so let's try to execute this as well, how here closure is important, and that's why we are accessing a message inside the set timeout. Let's try to execute this on JSBin. Let me close this HTML. Okay, so now here I have copied, so constant message is equal to hello world. Then I have taken the set timeout, which has a callback function which will print console.log message. So message will be printed on our console after 1 second. Okay, so let me run this code, clear and run. So after 1 second we can see hello world. So again same thing here, message will be accessed inside our set timeout because of only closure. So callback plays here a role of closure. Inside our callback function we'll have closure, and we'll have that outer variable, constant variable message. So that will be accessed inside our set timeout callback. So this is a actual use of closure. So there can be multiple ways where we can use closure, or or I can say there are multiple examples of closure. This is just two which I have which we uh, majorly use in our JavaScript code: set timeout, then event handler. Then there can be a use of this in for each loop. Also I can say in functional programming also we can use closure. So on in all async operations we use closure to access outer functions variable out, or outer variables I can say. If there is no function inside function, then we can access a global scope variable inside our closures. So this is a actual use of closure. So what happens when we ask someone what is a closure? So there can be a simple definition that we can access outer functions variable inside inner function. So that is a simple closure definition. But when we ask that what is the role of closure, can you give me some examples? So there should be examples like this: callback, event handler, then for each loop, then functional programming. So everywhere we use closure in JavaScript. So many times we use it, but we are not aware of it. We are not aware of it that there is a closure. That's why we can access these variables inside our functions. So that's all for closures. I hope you understood what is the exact use of closure in JavaScript, and we have covered what can be an interview question for closure. That's all for this video. Let me know if you have any questions on Clojure. Please comment. Please share this video if you like. Also, please comment if you have any questions. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video.